My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, and anything creative. Today I'm going to talk about budget lighting. I'm going to give you a few budget lighting options that I think are cool, that can help you, budget friendly, because they definitely are. These are both found on Amazon. These are both good, small budget LED lights that can come in handy in different situations. Now when it comes to setting up your YouTube setup or video or whatever you're doing, regardless, even pictures, you need lighting. Lighting is key to getting the best quality. If you don't have good lighting, your quality diminishes. When you have low light situations and your camera is struggling to perform, you're gonna get that fuzzy, pixelated looking image, which is a no. Now, if you like the quality that you see me get, the biggest factor, well, one of the biggest factors, because no matter how good of a camera you have, no matter how great your lens is, to get best performance, lighting is key. So that's what I'm going to talk about, some budget lighting options today. Now, what I use to light my situations, I use Softbox lights. They're LED, they're made by a company, Savage, and they really were like a photo setup. It was like a kit for photos, and it comes with the big softbox thing that you put over the lights, and the Savage little setup is great, but the total price overall, it's gonna be a nice little chunk of change, but this is definitely your best bet for getting lighting situations like this and getting the best lighting and being able to have the best setup for that. You can see right now, I'm kind of set up differently. I usually have it off center, but right now I got the light directly, but it's behind the camera, it's directly on top of me. That's why you're getting the shadow under me right here, under my chin. Usually I have it off center and me sitting in the center of my setup over here. I switched up the setup for this talking situation. This is the mood I'm going for. But that's another thing, the lighting helps set the mood. Now today, I'm gonna also talk and show you some options of small LED lights. This one right here is from Yongnuo, and this is the YN300 Air LED. I got this a while back. And when I first started off, I just had the daylight from a window on one side, and I got this to help fill in the other side. And then this one is another one similar to, this one's a little bit cheaper. Full disclosure, this one was sent out to me for review. This was a little bit more of a budget option than the Yongnuo. What you get on both is very similar. They're both bi-color. So you got the 5500 and the 3300, and this one, you go all the way from 3300 up to 6200. So when would you need a small LED like this? There's multiple ways you can use this thing. One creative way I really want to start using these is getting a color gel, placing a color gel over them, and using them to light my background with different colors, like shooting them off the wall, like a color blue or purple or orange. Now, as far as lighting goes, you can use these as good fill lights. So like right now, this is the YN300 Air. Ooh, these things are bright too, but also they don't have a softbox on them, so it's bright, harsh light. So I'm gonna show you, this is at max. You see, it's blowing me up, it's harsh. It has even taken over the softbox light. The softbox is there to soften the light. You can have it as like a back rim light to light your back. You can have it as like a fill light. Also, you can put it on your camera. Say if you're out and about, you're doing a run and gun situation, and you're at the mercy of the lighting outside. You may not have that much, but you need more light. That's why both of these are on camera. They both come with hot shoe mount. This is just a handle that comes with this one, which is pretty handy too, because putting it on top of a light stand is that much easier. The Wow, and that's how I interpret how to say it. The Wow has this very standard, basic hot shoe setup thing right here, but that's about it. As you saw, I showed you the 5500 lighting on the YN300. Damn, that's not the right one. Okay, so another thing I want to note on this one that I got from the Wow company, the first one they sent me had a defect to it. The screen wasn't operating properly. I reached out to them and they sent me another one that actually functions. So shout out to them on the customer service for that. But I do want to warn you about that. On cheap items, quality control is only going to be so much. Right now, we're on the 6200 Kelvin, and this is at 100%. It's not as bright as the YN300 Air, but that's actually not a bad thing, because LED light is harsh. As you can see, it's just like, if I put this off out to the side, I can get those lighting dynamics. So now I'm getting more shadow on this side because I have it off to the right. This goes up to 6200, which is a really nice, cool lighting temperature. Go ahead and take it all the way down to 3200, which is like tungsten. My softboxes are all daylight, so they're all like 5500. Say if I want to add some tungsten element like this right here, adding that in with that lighting, which is not really recommended, but this is artistic thinking. You gotta be artistic with some of this stuff. Or if you were in a tungsten situation and you want to match your light to that tungsten, you have the option to do that with both of these, because you get bi-colored options, which is where bi-colored is used. Or if I wanted to give the effect of the sun, or wait, no, golden hour. If I wanted to give the effect of golden hour, I could kind of give that with this or whatever. So both of these lights take f-stop style Sony batteries, which most people have, because a lot of equipment in video and photography take these type of batteries. They're pretty cheap. You can buy a bunch of them, get different ones. You don't even have to get the Sony ones. You can get Watson or something like that. I have a huge one that I'm using on my external monitor. It's like that. It's like a 970. And that'll give you a ton of time and light for a good while. So let's get into a little bit more into detail. So as you can see, this is the backside panel of this. You can either change it by 10 increments of 10, or you can hit the fine and change it by single digits. This one, what's cool about this light is you get to adjust each temperature individually, allowing you to blend them and get a different temperature. That's more advanced, and that's why this light is a bit more capable than the WOW one. So I can control how bright the tungsten is, or I can take it all the way out and just adjust the 5500. Now the downside to that is, if you're only on the 5500, you're not using as many LEDs, so it's not as bright as this could possibly be. But as you can see from when I showed you, this thing gets bright, so I don't think that's an issue at all. Boom, blowing me out. And also what's cool about this one, it has a battery indicator. It also can take a power adapter. I have a power adapter that I use with this one. They sell one, which you can get theirs, or you can get one that's compatible to their device. Now, the WOW one, which is what I'm gonna call it, even on the back of it, it says AFI capture view. You know how it is when you get the cheaper budget things. This item is all the LED screen. With this one, I don't think you can adjust each temperature individually, which is what the YN300 Air has over this one. This one, you just change the temperature of the light overall. So you just choose the temperature and then you're able to change the intensity of that temperature. That's about that. In essence, you technically can match the temperature of your room with both. What I like about this light over the YN300 Air is the fact that you can get all the way up to 6200 Kelvin, which I think is dope, because that's a nice cool light. And it also has the battery indicator digitally right there. It's a pretty cool one. Battery lock-in on this one is really nice and snug. There's no button or a release for it, but honestly, once you put it in, it's locked in. This thing isn't going anywhere. On the YN, you lock it in, and then there's a release button. Wait, there's a release button right here. You press, and then you slide out. At the end of the day, they both are somewhat pretty comparable, but I will say this, the Yongnuo has a better track record. A lot of people use their lights. They're a more popular name, and actually you get more capability out of this one. I've banged this thing up and it still hasn't quit on me. If you can see right here, it was dropped when I was shooting a birthday, and this part chipped off, but the light still works, still gets the job done, and it's still my handy and trusted YN300. Now this WOW that was sent to me, it's still another cool option. If you're trying to shave a couple more bucks, you can go this route, but I will question quality control and longevity. I won't know until I continue to use it and have it in the long run. These I'm gonna definitely use to put some color gels on and add color to my background. This one I'm gonna continue to use as like a fill light. Oh, before I wrap this video up, I wanna say both of these, a great use for these small LEDs is using them for product shots. So if you got a product shot, you can get these because they're smaller and easier to get up close, and in certain areas you get A1 lighting on product shots. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this right here. Links are in the description to all of these lights I mentioned. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the Savage one on Amazon, and if I do, I'll link that one. If I find something that's compatible or just as good as far as softbox, I'll put some options below, as well as some more higher end options. I want to get into the aperture LED lighting setup. The 120D is my dream lighting, and eventually I will get that one. But anyway, links in the description down below. My name is CJ, this is CJ Knows Tech. Lighting is very important. I recorded this video a second time. I might use some shots from the old one, but I didn't like the look of it. So I had to come back, knock this out real quick. I'm done, I'm out, peace.